The journey to Enugu felt longer than usual. The bus shook and rattled as it sped along the expressway, passing forests, farmlands, and scattered villages. Ujungwa sat quietly beside her mother. She had never left Umwede before, and everything outside the window looked too big, too fast, too frightening. By noon, the bus entered Enugu, and for a moment, Ujungwa forgot her fear as she stared at the tall buildings, fine roads, and crowds of people rushing in different directions. The city buzzed with life, noisy, loud, overwhelming. But their mission wasn't in Enugu. It was in Nsukka. They asked around at the park, and with the help of a kind woman selling oranges, they found a bus heading toward Nsukka. For the next 1 hour, the bus cut through winding roads. At exactly 2:03 p.m., their bus pulled into Nsukka Park. The sun was hot, the air dusty, and their legs trembling as they stepped down with their small nylon bag. They made inquiries, and after several wrong directions and a long walk past street, Peter's Catholic Church, they finally flagged down a taxi. Ujungwa's mother gave him the address, Onyema Close, number 14. The driver nodded and started the engine. They arrived at a quiet, well-kept compound with a tall metal gate. The place looked peaceful, too peaceful for the storm that was coming. Mama Ujungwa knocked on the gate firmly. After a moment, a tall, dark gateman stepped out of a small gate beside the main one, wiping his hands on a rag. "Yes? What can I do for you?" he asked suspiciously. "We want to see your madam," Mama Ujungwa said politely. The gateman frowned and looked them up and down. 2 strangers, 1 village woman, 1 young girl, dusty clothes, no appointment, no explanation. He hesitated. "Please," Ujungwa added quietly. "It's very important." Something in her voice softened him. He nodded slightly. "Wait." He stepped back inside. Moments later, he returned with a young woman behind him, slim and beautiful. This was Chiaka. She asked the gateman to let them into the compound. They stepped in and stood right by the gate. Chiaka stared at the 2 strangers, confused. "Yes? Who are you people? And why are you looking for me?" Ujungwa swallowed hard. Her voice trembled. "Your brother, Tobechukwu, sent us." Everything changed immediately. Chiamaka's expression twisted instantly. Pain, anger, confusion, disbelief, all at once. "What nonsense is this?" she snapped. "Which Tobechukwu? My brother is no more? Dead and buried. Musa!" she called the gateman sharply. "Where did you get these lunatics from? Did you bring them to cause me more pain?" Musa stepped forward immediately, rolling up his sleeves. "Madam, I am so sorry. If you want, I can send them out immediately." "No," Ujungwa's mother said quickly, stepping forward. "My daughter is not mad. We are not lunatics. Please hear us out." "I don't want to hear anything," Chiamaka shouted. "Musa! Send them out right now! I don't have time for this foolishness." Musa grabbed Ujungwa roughly by the arm. "Mama," she cried, "leave my daughter alone!" Mama Ujungwa yelled, trying to pull Ujungwa back. The situation escalated fast, Musa dragging them toward the gate, Chiamaka shaking with anger, Ujungwa terrified and desperate. Then, Ujungwa found her voice. She shouted the words Tobechukwu told her, the exact words his spirit said would unlock the truth. "He said to tell you, that the smell came before the silence. Chiaka stopped in her track, shocked to the bone. Her mouth fell open. Her eyes widened like someone hearing a voice from the grave. "What? What did you just say?" she whispered, shaking. Ujungwa repeated softly. He said, "The smell came before the silence." He said, "Only you would understand." Chiaka slowly raised a trembling hand to her mouth. Her eyes filled instantly with tears. She almost collapsed, and Musa rushed to steady her. "No," she whispered. "No one else knows that statement. No one." "So, you really saw my brother?" Her whole body trembled. Then she looked at Ujungwa, and her mother with fear and hope mixed in her eyes. "Come in," she said quietly. "Please, come inside." They followed her quietly. Chiaka led them into the living room and gently shut the door behind them. The room was beautifully furnished, but the atmosphere felt tense. "Please, sit," Chiaka said quietly. Ujungwa and her mother sat stiffly, unsure of what would come next. Chiaka remained standing, arms folded tightly across her chest, eyes fixed on Ujungwa. "You said Tobachukwu sent you," she whispered shakily. "Explain yourself, please." Ujungwa took in a deep breath. "Auntie, my name is Ujungwa. I live in Umuede." She swallowed. "I met your brother at the Umuede stream, sitting alone and crying profusely. He told me he was dead. I had gone to fetch water that morning when I saw a man crying by the stream path. When I asked what was wrong, he was shocked that I could see him." She looked at Chiaka earnestly. "He told me no one else could see or hear him, only me. He said his name was Tobechukwu Nwokolo. He said he grew up in the city with you, his only sibling, that both of you were raised by your uncle after your parents died. He said your father had many properties, and your uncle kept them until he became old enough to inherit them." Chiaka's breathing grew heavier. Ujungwa continued gently, narrating all that Tobachukwu had told her, the struggle for the property, the lawyer, and finally to that unfortunate night when he lost his life. He told me that someone entered his room the night he died. He heard footsteps and checked his living room but saw no one. When he returned to his room, the place smelled strange. Before he could escape, he realized the door was locked from outside. He inhaled the poisonous substance until her voice broke, "until he died," Chiaka whispered, her eyes filling slowly. Ujungwa stared at Chiaka and quietly said, "He said his uncle, your uncle, the same one who raised you both, paid someone to do it." The room went still, completely still. Now Ujungwa paused, letting everything sink in. Chiaka staggered backward and lowered herself slowly into a chair as though her legs had turned to water. Her voice shook as she spoke. This is too much. How can a girl I've never met know all these details?" She wiped her face with trembling hands. "I won't lie to you. It is hard, very hard, to believe that my uncle would do such evil. He raised us, he cared for us, he paid for our school. I never imagined this. But the things you said, everything you described, it is all true. Every single detail." She looked up at Ujungwa, her voice barely a whisper. "I don't know how you saw him. I don't know why but it sounds like my brother. It sounds like his truth. And if he sent you, then he must truly want justice, even in death." Ujungwa's mother leaned forward gently. My daughter told me everything, Tobechukwu said. We didn't come here to cause trouble. We only came because your brother begged us to. Chiamaka closed her eyes tightly, fresh tears running down. I loved my brother, she whispered. He was everything to me. After our parents died, we only had each other. He was kind, gentle, hard-working. Even when our uncle kept delaying the transfer of our father's properties, Tobechukwu never suspected anything evil. Ujunwa's heart broke for her. Auntie Chiamaka, Ujunwa said softly, your brother is not at rest. That's why he keeps appearing. He wants the truth to come out. Chiamaka nodded slowly, staring at the floor. Please, she whispered. Tell me everything else, he said. Every single thing. Ujunwa nodded and continued. He said inside his own house, his bedroom, there is a metal box containing documents and things he hid before he died. She was still talking when the room suddenly grew cold. The curtain moved slightly, though no breeze blew outside. Ujunwa felt the air shift and looked toward the corner of the room. Her heart skipped as she saw Tobechukwu standing by the corner, crying. He's here, she whispered. He's standing by the dining table. Chiamaka burst into uncontrollable tears and dropped to her knees. Tobechukwu, my brother, my blood, she cried into the air. I miss you so much. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you. I didn't know you were in danger. I failed you. Ujunwa's mother moved closer and placed a gentle hand on Chiamaka's back. It's all right, my daughter, she whispered. He hears you. He came back because you matter to him. Chiamaka sobbed harder, her tears dropping onto the tiled floor. Tobechukwu, she cried. I promise you, I promise with my whole heart, I will fight for justice. I will not let your blood cry in vain. I will expose whoever did this to you. I swear it. At that exact moment, the front door opened and Chiamaka's two little children in school uniforms and backpacks ran in. Chiamaka quickly wiped her tears and sat up straight, forcing a smile for their sake. Welcome, my darlings, she said weakly, hugging them both. She turned to Ujunwa and her mother. Please excuse me. My children just returned from school. Ujunwa and her mother smiled at the little ones. Good afternoon, they greeted softly, after which they ran off to their rooms, and Chiamaka exhaled deeply. I will give you a room to sleep in tonight, she said. You can't go back to Umwede today. It's too late. She stepped aside and dialed her husband. She spoke to him for a while. When she ended the call, she called her maid and asked her to prepare food for the visitors. Chiamaka turned back to Ujunwa and her mother. Come, let me take you to your room. As they followed her down the hallway, a strange feeling washed over Ujunwa, a warm rush, like a voice speaking inside her head. She turned suddenly toward Chiamaka. Auntie, Ujunwa said softly. Yes, Ujunwa? Uncle Okafor will try to call you several times this evening. Please, don't pick his calls. Chiamaka's eyes widened. Mama Ujunwa froze. Ujunwa herself stood shocked. She hadn't planned to say that. The words had come out on their own as though someone put them on her tongue. She whispered to herself, What is happening to me? Chiamaka's eyes darted behind Ujunwa. I won't pick his calls, she whispered in fear. Ujunwa and her mother entered the guest room. Dinner was quiet that night. After they had eaten, Ujunwa and her mother retired for the night. Ujunwa lay beside her mother, exhausted, mind heavy, heart racing. She didn't know when sleep finally dragged her under. Then she had a dream. She was standing in a bush, tall grass brushing her legs, the sky dark and empty. A cold wind howled through the trees. Suddenly, someone whispered behind her. Ujunwa. She froze. The whisper grew louder. Nki. She turned, and a tall man wearing a wooden mask stepped out of the shadows. His mask was carved with strange symbols. His voice was deep, angry, and echoing unnaturally. "Why are you interfering?" he growled. Ujungwa tried to run, but her legs wouldn't move. "You village girl," the masked man roared. "Do you know who you are dealing with?" He began chasing her through the bush. "Leave my affairs alone," he shouted. "You have no idea what I can do to you." Branches scratched her arms as she ran. Her breath came in sharp gasps. The man gained on her. She tripped. She screamed. Then she jolted awake with a loud cry. "Mama!" Mama Ujungwa jumped up from the mat, heart pounding. "Ujungwa, what is it? What happened? Talk to me." Ujungwa was shaking violently, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, Mama, someone was chasing me. He wore a mask. He was shouting at me. He asked why I was interfering." Her mother grabbed her shoulders and hugged her tightly. My daughter, calm down. It was a dream." "No, Mama," Ujunwa sobbed. "It felt real." He was angry. He was very angry. Mama Ujunwa closed her eyes and whispered some prayers, asking the gods for protection over her and her daughter. After this, they lay down again, clinging to each other until sleep took them. At dawn, Chiamaka's children left for school. When the house quieted down, Chiamaka came to the guest room, her eyes swollen from crying. She sat down slowly and looked at Ujunwa. "My dear, you were right," she whispered. "My uncle called me several times last night. He even sent WhatsApp messages telling me how he urgently needed to talk to me. I didn't respond to any." She rubbed her arms, visibly shaken. Later that morning, after a light breakfast, Chiamaka drove them out herself. Inside the car, the atmosphere was tense. Ujunwa kept glancing outside, afraid the masked man would appear again. They arrived at a quiet street. When Chiamaka stopped the car, she whispered, "This is it, the house where my brother died." The duplex stood cold and silent. Chiamaka had the keys to the house. She opened the door and they all made their way to the bedroom. Following Ujunwa's direction, they found the metal box Tobechuku had talked about. They opened it. Inside were documents, deeds, certificates, property papers, everything Tobechuku said he hid. Without wasting time, Chiamaka drove them straight to the office of a trusted lawyer she knew. A middle-aged man came out to meet them and examined the documents thoroughly. After several minutes, he looked up solemnly. "Madam, these documents are fake. All of them." Chiamaka burst into tears again. The lawyer sighed heavily. "This is criminal forgery. Whoever did this has committed a serious offense." After the lawyer confirmed the documents were fake, Chiamaka sat in the car trembling. Her eyes were swollen, her fingers shaking violently as she wiped tears from her cheeks. "This is too much. All of this is too much," she whispered. Ujunwa and her mother sat quietly, unsure of what to say. Then Chiamaka took a decision. She opened her bag, brought out a bundle of money and placed it gently in Mama Ujunwa's hand. "Please take this," she said softly. "You and your daughter have done more than enough. I don't want to put you in more danger. Go back to Umwede. Let me handle the rest." She collected Mama Ujunwa's phone number with both hands trembling. "I will call you," she promised. "I will update you. Just pray for me." Chiamaka went to the police station, made her complaint, and wrote her statement. 2 hours later, Chief Okafor was invited by the police for questioning. When confronted with the forged papers, he gave a smooth smile. "I admit," he said, shrugging casually, "those documents are fake, but I did it for his own good. Tobechukwu was not mature enough to handle our properties. I wanted him to grow before giving him the originals." His voice sounded convincing. Chiamaka was asked to bring the young girl she mentioned in her statement, but she vehemently refused, not wanting to expose Ujunwa to danger. "I won't bring her," Chiamaka snapped. "You have enough evidence." "Madam," the officer replied, "this is not evidence of murder, only forgery. You must bring that girl. Without the girl, without a witness, without direct proof, the case collapsed." By evening, Chief Okafor was released. No further questions, no deeper investigation. Money and influence silenced everything. Chiamaka left the station broken, helpless, and defeated. Back in Umwede, life returned to normal, at least on the surface. But Ujunwa was no longer normal. Almost every night, the strange dreams return. The same masked man chasing her. She always woke up shaking, gasping for breath, clutching her wrapper with trembling fingers. One fateful night, the dream came again. But this time, Ujunwa didn't run. She stood still as he approached, his voice a deep, thunderous growl. She clenched her fists. "I'm not afraid of you," she said. The man lunged at her, and suddenly fire burst from her hand, a bright, fierce flame that struck him across his chest. He stumbled backward, screaming in pain. His mask cracked. His robe caught fire. Ujunwa stepped forward, her voice thundering through the dream. "Confess what you did now." The masked man fell to the ground, rolling painfully, shrieking as the fire burned him. Then Ujunwa woke up, sweating, terrified, shaking, and shocked by what she had just done. At dawn, before the cock crowed twice, Mama Ujunwa's phone rang. It was Chiamaka. Her voice was frantic. "Mama Ujunwa, please. You and Ujunwa must come back to Nsukka immediately." "Why?" Mama Ujunwa asked, alarmed. "Chief Okafor. He is sick. He woke up this morning with burns all over his body. Severe burns. No one knows what caused it. He keeps shouting he wants to see the girl who said she saw my brother. He said she is the one who attacked him." Ujunwa covered her mouth in shock. "Please," Chiamaka cried, "I'm begging you, come back." The next day, Ujunwa and her mother made their way to the park and boarded a bus to Enugu again. Chiamaka was waiting for them at the motor park when they arrived. Without a word, she ushered them into her car and they drove to the hospital. They made their way to Chief Okafor's ward and pushed the door open. Chief Okafor lay on the hospital bed, connected to tubes and machines. His skin was marked with patches of burns, dark, painful-looking burns that covered his arms, chest, and parts of his face. When he saw Ujunwa, something flickered in his eyes. Fear, recognition, Surrender. He motioned shakily for her to come closer. Ujungwa stepped forward slowly, her mother's hand gripping hers. Chief Okafor swallowed painfully, tears gathering in his eyes. It's time for me to speak, and let the truth bury me. He stared at Chiamaka guilt and years of hidden hatred shining through. I killed your brother, he whispered, trying to clear his throat. I didn't kill him because of the properties. It started long before that. I had always hated my brother, Nuokolo, from way back when we were just boys, growing up and living with our parents. Our parents always compared me to him. They said he was better behaved, more intelligent, more respectful. He got the scholarship. He travelled abroad. He returned with good ideas. He married the woman our mother adored. Everything he touched turned to gold. He swallowed bitterly. And me? I was the shadow, the disappointment, the one they scolded, the one they ignored. They created that hatred in me. I saw my brother as the most cherished one and myself as the prodigal son. I saw him as my enemy, one who got everything while I got nothing. But despite his success, still helped me. He started a business for me. He bought me land. He paid my school fees at master's level and did a lot of other things for me. But do you know what that did to me? It made the hatred worse. When your father died and everything passed to Tobechukwu, I told myself I deserved it, that I had suffered too long in his shadow. I deliberately sent Tobechukwu abroad for his master's degree. I hoped he would stay there forever. I hoped he would fall in love with the foreign life and forget the properties. But he came back and still wanted what his father left for him. So I hired someone to finish him, he concluded. Chiamaka broke into bitter sobs, falling to her knees. Uncle, how could you? My brother loved you. He respected you. We both adored you. Chief Okafor's eyes softened the first softness he had shown in years. He broke down, trembling like a child. Please forgive me, Chiamaka. Tobechukwu, if you can hear me, please forgive me. I am sorry. He stretched a trembling hand toward Ujungwa. Who are you? He whispered. You're not ordinary. How can a young village girl fight me despite all my attacks on you? I got the sign immediately you revealed my secret to Chiamaka. I tried calling Chiamaka severally, but she didn't pick up. So I decided to attack you. What kind of power do you carry? Without waiting for an answer, he turned painfully toward Mama Ujunwa. Who is her father? He asked weakly. What blood runs in this child? Tell me the truth. Mama Ujunwa stiffened. Her face paled. Her lips trembled. She took a step backward, clutching her wrapper as though holding her heart together. I don't know, she whispered. Mama Ujunwa's eyes filled slowly, painfully, with tears. She let out a long, shaky breath and sank into a nearby chair. I have never told anyone, she said quietly. Not even my daughter. When I was 20 years old, someone in our community promised to help me get a job as a housemaid in the city. She gave me an address in Enugu and asked me to come over. I left Umwede for Enugu. It was my first time visiting the city. So, I missed my way and I didn't even have a phone to call. It was getting late, so I decided to sleep inside an uncompleted building until morning. But in the middle of the night, someone touched me. I woke up, and before I even understood what was happening, he forced himself on me. I screamed, cried, begged, but he didn't stop. I never saw his face. It was too dark, and he left before dawn. I ran away the next morning and eventually found the woman who promised me the maid job. She took me in. I began working. 3 months later, I discovered I was pregnant. When my madam found out, she became angry. She said she didn't hire me to come and deliver a bastard under her roof. She threw me out. I returned to Umwede, back to my mother, where I eventually had my daughter. Turning to Ujungwa, she said, I single-handedly raised you. I did all kinds of work, farm jobs, firewood selling, washing clothes for neighbors. I did everything to give you a life. She brushed Ujungwa's cheek with trembling fingers. But I couldn't bear to tell you the truth. So I lied. I told you your father died. I didn't want you to grow up with pain or shame. Ujungwa broke into sobs and hugged her mother tightly. For a long moment after Mama Ujungwa stopped talking, the hospital room was silent except for the slow, weakening beeps of the monitor beside Chief Okafor's bed. Chief Okafor stared at Mama Ujungwa with wide, trembling eyes. Her story seemed to hit him like a blow, harder than pain, harder than the burns blackening his skin. He swallowed painfully. Madam, he whispered, that night, when did it happen? What? What year? Mama Ujungwa wiped her tears. It happened in 1995, 3rd of August, in an uncompleted building at New Artisan Enugu. I had missed my way that night. At the mention of the location, something inside Chief Okafor snapped. His mouth fell open in horror. No, he whispered. No, 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 God, forgive me. That night, he croaked. I remember that night. It was me. I don't know what came over me. I saw a young woman sleeping in an uncompleted building. She had short braids. I felt like it immediately, and I did the unimaginable. My God, it was you, he cried, pointing at Mama Ujungwa. It was you. And that means he turned slowly, painfully toward Ujungwa. You are my daughter. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I have been married twice. Both marriages failed because of childlessness. But all this time, my child, my own blood, was suffering in a village. He stretched his trembling hand toward Ujungwa. No wonder you could face me like that. Fire cannot burn fire. Blood called to blood. Mama Ujungwa trembled with both anger and confusion. So, you were the one that ruined my life. I know, he sobbed, and I deserve death 10 times over. But please, forgive me. I didn't know I had a daughter. I didn't know God had given me a child. He turned to Chiamaka, shaking violently. Please, accept her, he gasped. Accept Ujungwa as your own. She is your blood. Your cousin. Take care of her. Chiamaka said nothing. She simply kept crying. Chief Okafor's breathing suddenly quickened. My house in Enugu. Behind the giant bookshelf, there is a loose wood panel. Inside, you will find the original documents. Your father's property. Please, take them. Take everything back. He began to gasp, clutching his chest. The monitor beside him gave a long, flat beep. Before Chiamaka could call the doctor's attention, Chief Okafor took one last breath. Nobody cried, not Chiamaka, not Ujungwa or her mother. At this point, Tobechukwu appeared again, smiling this time. He looked straight at Ujunwa and said, "Thank you, Ujunwa," he said softly. "You gave me a voice. You told my story." His eyes glistened as he looked at his sister. "Chiamaka, don't cry. I am free now," he said, even though he knew she couldn't see or hear him. He turned back to Ujunwa. "Thank you, my cousin, my blood." Ujunwa broke into tears. Tobechukwu lifted his hand and waved gently. "Goodbye and thank you." And then he faded like smoke carried by wind. He was gone, gone forever. Ujunwa cried hard, holding her mother tightly. Chiamaka moved closer to them and said, "You are my family now. You are my blood, and I will never let you suffer again." Chiamaka, Ujunwa, and Mama Ujunwa later traveled together to Umwede to visit Tobechukwu's grave. Chiamaka fell to her knees first, her tears flowing freely as she touched the small mound of earth. Ujunwa knelt beside her, placing her hand gently on the grave, while Mama Ujunwa stood behind them, praying softly. They brought fresh flowers, white lilies, and bright yellow marigolds, and laid them carefully over Tobechukwu's resting place. Standing together in silence, they honored his memory, marked his justice, and promised never to forget him. As for Uncle Okafor's remains, their extended family members buried him in a quiet and unceremonious funeral. Everything changed after then. Chiamaka took Ujunwa and her mother back to Nsukka. She built a beautiful house for them, a 2-bedroom bungalow with running water, tiles, and a fenced compound. She registered Ujunwa in one of the best universities in Enugu. Ujunwa excelled beyond anyone's expectations. After graduation, Chiamaka sponsored her to study abroad. Ujunwa grew into a powerful young woman with a rare gift of prophecy. The story ended not in sorrow, but in justice, forgiveness, and destiny fulfilled. Thank you so much for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more powerful and emotional stories coming your way.